This is exercise 8.3, and the objective of this lesson is to introduce protein-rich meat alternatives and some of the cooking techniques that are used for pulses. So I'm going to make Unit 1, bean burritos. I've got a pan of oil all hot and ready to go here, so I'm going to start right away with adding some onion. And I'm going to cook the onion by itself for about 3 minutes until it softens and starts to turn translucent. Okay, now I'm going to add the garlic and our peppers and grated carrot. Carrots take a long time to cook, so if we grate them up nice and small, then it will cook at about the same rate as the other vegetables here. I'm going to let this sit for about, or saute for about 5 minutes. I'll keep stirring it to make sure it doesn't stick. But also in the meantime, I'm going to go mix up our bean mixture. This recipe uses a can of refried beans, so they've already been cooked. There's a bit of oil and salt that's been added to them. They're a super quick, easy, fully cooked bean product. So I've got those in a bowl, and I'm just going to mix it around a bit, and then I'm going to add some salsa, along with some salt and pepper. Might keep it pretty light on the salt because there is some salt in the canned beans. Okay, this is pretty much incorporated, and that's it for the bean mixture. This needs a couple more minutes, but I'm actually going to add the spices now and give them a chance to mix together too. So I have chili powder, oregano, and cumin seed. I'll saute this for another couple minutes. Alright, our vegetables are tender and well cooked, so I'm going to take that off the heat and bring it over to my workstation. So now I'll assemble the burritos. So I have a tortilla, I have a spinach tortilla here, but you can use whatever you like or can find. I'm going to add about 1/3 cup of bean mixture into the burrito. And then I am going to add some vegetables over top. And then I'm going to roll it up. So I'm going to start from the bottom and just try to make sure I can keep everything in there. I'm going to gently fold in the sides as I go. And I'm going to place it in a greased pan. And then I'm going to keep going with my remaining mixture. Okay, I've rolled up all of the burritos, and I'm just going to put a little bit of salsa on top before I pop it in the oven. This is going to go in a 400-degree oven for about 15 minutes. Okay, the burritos have been baking for about 15 minutes, and now I'm going to sprinkle some cheese over the top. I have a combination of cheddar cheese and Monterey Jack. Okay, and this just needs 5 minutes to let the cheese melt, get a little bit bubbly, and hopefully a little bit brown. Okay, let's pull out the burritos. The cheese is melted. If you wanted to brown it, you could leave it a little bit longer. And I would just like to show you what it looks like inside. So I'm going to carefully take one of these out of the pan. Here's our burrito, a bean burrito. So that's what it looks like. You can serve this with sour cream, with yogurt, and you can add some more salsa too if you'd like.
So today we are going to doing the unit 2, which is the sprouted bean and fruit salad. So as you see here, we have a cup of the sprouted beans, and you will see that listed in the ingredient list, and then that is the mix of the green beans and the lentils. So I give them a rinse before I actually put into the pan. So now I will just like pour this mix of green beans and lentil all into like the frying pan. And I do have some water in the bottom of the cup, so just prevent them to burning during the salted process. So we will kind of stir them in the frying pan for a minute to let them to become soft and to cook them a little bit. Just be careful, do not like burn your those beans and those sprouts. So as you see, the bean became like soft, and then there's a more liquid coming out of them. So I think that is ready. We can just use this one to make a salad. I will close the heat and I will remove this one to my working table. So as you see, all the fruit are prepared. They are cutted, and then here's the bean and just cook it. So this salad is super easy. We just combine all the ingredients into this large bowl. Here's all my fruits. Oops, it's heavy. I have apple, pear, and orange. Okay, so I'm just gonna put all of them in. And then I will put lemon juice, salt and pepper, and some canola oil for taste. So I will put 15 microliters of the lemon juice, or you have orange juice. Also you can use orange juice at home. Okay, some lemon juice. Oops. And canola oil is supposed to be like a 5 ml, and I will just I measure it, it's around that. So then the step is like they stir them together. Just make sure that the salt and pepper are mixed well, otherwise it's not gonna taste really good, and you will have a spot that is really salty, and then the other spot is like, okay, there's no taste at all. Okay, here we go. That is a super easy and quick salad, and that is ready to serve.
This is exercise 8.3, unit 3, making the vegetarian chili. I have some black beans and some kidney beans that we soaked overnight. So to do that, first we just took the dried beans and rinsed them under cold water, picked out any beans that didn't belong. You have to look for dirt or stones and that kind of thing. And then I filled them, put them in a bowl, and then filled the bowl with extra water to cover the beans. You want to leave maybe about 2 inches above the beans with water so that the beans can expand overnight. So now we're ready to drain the beans. So I'm just going to discard this water it was soaking in. And for our recipe today, I only need a cup of each of these beans. So I'm going to take 1 cup of black beans, put them into our pressure cooker. And I'll save the rest of these beans for another day. Here's the kidney beans. And I also just need 1 cup of those in our pressure cooker. And then I'm going to bring this over to our stove. So to the beans in the pressure cooker, I'm going to add 2 cups of water. And then I'm going to get this started. And using the pressure cooker allows us to cook the beans faster, otherwise they would have to simmer on the stove for quite a while. Okay, I'm going to turn the heat up, and I want to let the water inside boil and let the pressure come up. And then when it does, I'll start to time how long the beans will be in there. While the beans are cooking in the pressure cooker, I'm going to saute the rest of the vegetables and soy for our vegetarian chili. So I'm just going to add some cumin seeds to hot oil, and we're going to toast those, saute these for about 30 seconds to bring out the flavor. And you want to stir it so that they don't burn. Then I'm going to add a little bit of chopped tomato. Then I'm going to add all of our vegetables. So we have peppers, while I'm doing this, I'm noticing that our pressure cooker is boiling, so I'm going to quickly turn that heat down a bit. We'll add zucchini, garlic, ginger, I'm going to add our soy, ground round. Red pepper chili flakes. So I'm going to stir this up and cook it for about 10 minutes until the vegetables are soft and the soy is heated through. Okay, the beans have been in the pressure cooker for 20 minutes, and then I turned off the heat and let the pressure come back down to 0, so it's safe to open the cooker now. I'm just being really careful in case there was any extra steam. So you can see the beans have cooked. They're looking nice and tender. Some of them are broken down a little bit, and there's a bit of extra water, which is great because we're going to include that water in our sauce. So I'll just pour this right into our veggie mixture. And now these are going to simmer together for about 15 minutes. So our beans and veggie mixture has now been simmering for about 15 minutes. I did add a little bit of water as it was going because it was getting dry. And you can tell that that extra water has been evaporated off and also absorbed into the ingredients here. So I'm going to turn off the heat and just scoop them into a bowl. And I have some fresh chopped up cilantro, and we're just going to top our chili bowl with some cilantro. And that's ready to eat.
Okay, so this is exercise 8.3, unit 4. We are making stir-fried tofu with fresh vegetables. So first step, we will warm up the pan, and then we will put around like 1.5 teaspoon of olive oil into the pan. Just keeping in mind that the olive oil have like a lower temperature, melting temperature. So it is very important that you are not overheating the oil. So then after the oil, you immediately put the tofu in the pan and just kind of stir fry them until their color turns to a lightly like brownish. So right now it's like pretty, I would say white and a little bit yellow color. So after a while they're gonna turn to like a brown or a little bit brownish color on the edges. So it's gonna take about like 2 to 4 minutes. So now the tofu is like ready. They turn to like a golden color, not brown. So then we will just like put them back to the bowl I like stored them before. Okay, we will put them on the side and then we'll cook the vegetables. So according to the recipe, I can add another, like the remaining of the olive oil. Here I'm just gonna add 1 more teaspoon because I see it's quite oily in the pan. So after we put the oil, we put the like minced ginger and garlic in. I mean the garlic is here. I'm not gonna put the green onions, but the garlic for sure. So kind of like stir fry them into the oil. Let the smell of them to come out. It's a very nice. So then I will put the mushrooms. So we will kind of stir fry the mushroom for about 3 minutes to let the mushroom tree become like a soft and the juice from the mushroom start to coming out. So now you see the mushroom begins to like look smaller, and then the color is like kind of like a golden brownish color. So now it's the time for us to put the remaining of vegetables in. So here I have the broccoli, red pepper, and also the green onion. Here's the green onion. So just like put all of them in. And then just keep stir fry them until like the broccoli and the green pepper, the green onion and red pepper became like a tender crispy. That's gonna take you about like 3 or 5 minutes. So as you see, the vegetables are like kind of soft and became like a tender crispy. So then we can add the tofu back to the stir fry, and then along with soya sauce, like 25 ml. And then I will add the sesame oils. Then last, that will be the white wine shake. And then we put them into smear. Like before it was on a high heat, now it's like we bring them to smear. So we let them to smear for a minute to just let the flavor get into the vegetables. Because before, we didn't add any salt or pepper into this dish, so actually the salty flavor gonna most came from the soya sauce we add and then if you think that is not salty enough, then you can add some more salt and pepper to taste, but just keep in mind the soya sauce is like usually very salty, so yeah, just like adjust the salt and pepper you want to add for later. So yeah, we just let them to be sitting in the pan for another like a minute or 2, then that will be ready to serve. Okay, so here it is. We will just like put them on the plate, and you can eat that with rice or with bread, whatever you want. And the tofu will be a nice protein in here. Oops. Just put it on the side.